Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Coming to you live. I haven't done a YouTube live video stream in a while. And the last time I did one, it was the difference between a boss and a manager or a boss and a leader, why your employees hate you. And I got some questions on that. Not very many. No, it's not like, people beating down the door to come talk to me yet. But I thought I would pontificate just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Um Speaking as an employee, I've been an employee my whole life. I mean, I'm a business owner now and an entrepreneur, but I still have not broken the ties with being an employee yet. Excuse me, I'm getting over the flu. So, as speaking as an employee, I know what motivates me and what does not. Okay? I know what makes me tick and what doesn't. I've seen and worked under some really, really terrible bosses and terrible leaders. And I've worked with some really good leaders and some good bosses. But unfortunately, as a society, we kind of focus on the bad. We blame the boss for everything, whether they're good or bad. We actually do blame the boss for everything. If morale is down, we blame the person in charge. If we lose money, we don't make our goal. I won't say lose money, but whatever the goal is, if we don't make that goal, and we do terrible as a group, as an organization, or as a team, we blame the leader. And they could be a good leader or a bad leader, doesn't matter. We blame the leader. So sometimes being a leader is not always great. But so I've worked in a few environments, and I'm sure you have too. Yeah, if you're an adult and you've worked any amount of years, you've worked under a few people. And some people need and like to be micromanaged. They really truly they need feedback on every single thing that they do. They can't do anything without support. They can't do anything without you telling them what to do. That's not me. It has never been me. It's never been me, and the older I get, the less it is. I don't like people hovering over me. I don't like for you to ask me 5 minutes after you told me to do something and did I get it done. I don't like you sending me 15 emails about the thing you told me to do last week and you gave me a deadline. I see the deadline. I know what it is. I got it, right? I'm not good with that. I'm not good with being micromanaged because the way my personality is set up, either you trust me or you don't, or you respect me as a professional or you don't. And when you micromanage me, it's like you're saying you don't trust me, you don't respect me as an adult. Those are the kinds of mind games that sometimes bosses play. But the name of this talk is called "Why Your Employees Hate You." So I wanted to get on here and talk about good practices. People that I work for that I would run through a wall for them. I would follow them to their next place if they own a school. I want to go work for them because they have something. It is not always they have the best personality. It's not even that they do everything right and that they're perfect. It's just that they have a style of leading instead of being a boss. They have a style of showing and doing instead of making you do it and telling you what to do and then basically embarrassing you if you don't do it right. That. And so one of the things, just one, if you want to go back to part one, is there. One of the things that good bosses do, that good leaders do, is that they first off they trust their team. Okay, they set up the system, and gosh, is it Gary Zukav? Is there Gary Zukav, Seed of the Soul? Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Is that Gary Zukav? I hope I got that right. Please tell me if I got it right. I hope I got that right. One of the things he talks about in the habits of highly successful people is he talks about a win-win situation. Good leaders set those things up. Win-win. No one has to lose. No one has to sacrifice. No one has to compromise. Everybody wins. And I shouldn't say compromise because compromise is not necessarily a bad thing. I give up a little here and a little here, and we all meet in the middle. That's a good thing, right? Compromise is not necessarily a bad thing. But when I say sacrifice, that's different because that means I have to give up something that I want to please you, or to get something done. That way, I'm left wanting, and I'm left maybe holding the bag, and that can cause resentment later. But that's neither here nor there. The subject of here is why your employees hate you. If you're not setting your employees up for a win-win, eventually, whoever loses is going to be your biggest thorn in your side. Dare I say that's me most of the time. Because I've worked for some people where, and I know I'm gonna have to get specific here in a minute, but just bear with me for a second while I talk in generalizations. I've worked for people that the only thing they want is a win on there for them, but they don't think about us. What's in it for us? Well, you get a paycheck. That's so do you, right? What's in it for us? What's the incentive for us? Perfect example. Okay. My current supervisor did this one right. I've never seen this being done so subtle. It was so subtle the way it worked out. So subtle. So she's learned over the years, probably through since the pandemic, because the pandemic was a huge teacher for a lot of people. A lot of people. The way we used to do things before has to be reworked and redone now. But my supervisor, kudos to her. Here's the issue. We have to check papers here. Now I know if someone in the state sees this, they're gonna be like, "What? Y'all check papers?" I know. I've already had this conversation with them. That practice has been outdated forever, since as long as I can remember. We don't check papers for a standardized test. We don't do that. Someone else does that for us. We either have scantrons where the answers are scanned, or there's someone else in another department that checks papers and checks writing samples and things like that. We don't do that. But here in this country, we have to check. So here as a math and science teacher, I as an EMT means I teach English language courses. All of us EMTs get together. It's time for us to check the 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 tests are here. They're ready. It's let's say it's 10:30. The kids have just gone home for the day because the test was from 8:30 to 10:30, and the kids have gone home. 11 o'clock. Here we go. We got the test. Let's ready. We're ready to check. You look left. You look right, and there's 12 people in the room. There are 67 teachers in the building, but there's 12 of us in the room, mostly EMTs just like me. Okay. You have to get on the horn and call them. All right, teachers, we need you to come down and help check these papers. Blah, blah, blah. Fifth grade needs help. Fourth grade needs help. Third grade needs help. Come on up down here and check these papers. So, okay. This was the scenario that we've had to deal with since I've been here. Okay. This time has been different. This time was different. And so we had to check the papers. So you had to beg people to check the papers. We had to beg them. Now, when it was their subject, let's say it was a native subject like Arabic social studies or Islamic, which is their native tongue. You can get all 67 of them there. You go, all of them going to be there because they want to help each other because they're people. When the English teachers have something to do, you can't find them. But when they had something to check, they were all there. Interesting. And that was the pattern. We got used to it. You just swallow it and move on because that's the way things are done. You can speak on it if you like, doesn't matter. Nothing was going to change. So, a good leader, or sorry, a boss would say to you, I need all the teachers down here. If you're not down here, no one leaves until 3 o'clock. And that's what she did. You're not leaving until 3 o'clock. You're not leaving. So, you might as well just get on down here and check. So, they became resentful and didn't do it. They would come down at 2, maybe 1:45 because you made them do it. You forced them to do it. There was nothing in it for them. This time, and I do mean this time, or I mean as of this week and last week. This time she doesn't fuss. She doesn't get on the like she I don't I have not seen one message on my phone from the principal. I haven't seen any messages from admin. They just said flat out, "What time do we leave?" You leave when you get all the papers checked. Oh, so guess what? Every single day, all 67 teachers, and I'm making that number up. I am. I'm making that number up because I don't know how many teachers are actually at the school. All 67 teachers are there. That is a sign of a good. See, they win, we win. Everybody gets their papers checked. It doesn't matter if it's math, science, English, didn't matter. All week long, all the teachers are showing up. Why? Because they want to go home. Yeah. She didn't say you had to stay till 3 this time or 2:30 or 3:30 or 3:15. She said, as soon as you get these papers checked, you can go. Because that way I get what I want and I don't have to fuss at them and everybody gets these papers checked. The first day, the papers were late. I think we started checking at 11:30. We were out of there by 1. The second day, 1:30. Third day, I don't know. I think it was maybe 1:15. I wasn't there, but it's still 1:15. Today they were out of there by 1 o'clock. Everybody's gone home by 1:30 because the incentive creates the momentum of teamwork. That was the goal from the beginning, but nobody saw us as a team. They saw this as we'll help them if you make us. And then we'll help our friends because we want to. There was no teamwork there. But a good leader sees, okay, how can I make this for everybody? So, in conclusion, if you are a boss and your only goal is to make yourself win, and there you could care less about whether how everybody feels about it, you will constantly be replacing staff, and people will resent you, and you will have a very hard time getting people to to do your bidding and to do what you want, exactly what you want to do, and implement your programs. If you find that it's very difficult to find people to let's say be chairpersons of your committees, or to lead organizations, or lead some projects that you need done, if you find that very difficult, if you can only call the same three people every time, that's because people don't trust you. They don't want to work for you. They don't want to work harder for you because you set up the system to only benefit you. Everybody wants to know what's in it for them. Everybody. It's just the way we're built. And I'm saying man, woman, child. When my kids, when my children, my fifth grade, 10-year-old, 11-year-olds come to me and they say, Miss, is this test for a grade? They just want to know. They're not getting any candy. They're not getting, we're not going to the playground. They just want to know, Miss, am I getting a grade for this? They want to know what's in it for them. We're just hardwired that way. We're just built that way. Doesn't make us bad people. Yeah. So it's up to you, bosses and leaders. It's up to you. Do you want people on your side? Do you want people to follow you through the darkness and the rough times, regardless of whether or not they like you? Do you want people to respect you on every single level, whether or not they know what the end goal is? See, I don't even have to know what the end goal was, right? Don't know what happened either. Don't know what changed what it changed everything. I'm just glad it did. But I want to talk about in my next book, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I want to talk about in my next book a book of solutions. I'm looking for teachers and educators who are going to help me write this book. I'm not going to write this next book by myself. This next book is going to be a book of solutions because we've been talking about the problem for way too long. Everyone in the universe knows what the problem of education is. You don't even have to be a teacher to know that teachers don't get paid enough. Teachers are, overworked. Teachers are underappreciated. Teachers are being rolled over, they're being disrespected. Everyone knows that. How can we fix it? How can we get another or different education? How can we change the paradigm in education? Okay. When when I get my own talk show, when I get my own platform, when I get my own TV show, we're going to discuss it every single week. We're going to discuss that. Because I am a person that believes that for every problem, there's a solution. It can't be so insurmountable that someone is doing it right. Someone is doing it right. Somewhere in the world, there is teachers that are happy to be there. They love what they do. They love the kids. They love the parents. Everybody's happy. Someone is getting it right. How can we duplicate that? So this has been my soapbox on my YouTube channel this day. My name is Kendra Johnson. I am the teacher coach. I make good teachers great by bringing them out of burnout back to a balanced life. And I am exceptional. And so are you. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. See you next time. Don't forget to be a leader, not a boss. Be a leader. Click and get that book. Click and get that book. Click and get it. Click and get it. Click and get it.